Good morning.
Good morning.
We've got a surprise for you this morning. It's a Hannah Simpson.
It's me. Hi, guys.
Hannah's also going to be leading the show next week with our guest, Beth McCollum from Preservation Parks. So
see you next week as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll also see Hannah next week. And I will be out, and I will be in Disney, and you'll all be celebrating Christmas, and I'll be at the happiest place on earth.
Your happiest place on earth.
My happiest place, thank you. That's a good qualifier.
It'll be warm, at least. Let's give it that.
That's right. Well, but let's talk about today. Today we have Shannon Miller with us. Shannon is the Delaware City Schools counselor with Syntero. So good morning, Shannon.
Good morning.
We're happy to have you here. You are definitely going to want to stay tuned for the second half of the show because Shannon is going to tell us about winter blues busting, how you can get out of that SAD, seasonal affective disorder,
That's
a little
right.
bit of, I always want to say allergy disorder because that's just where my brain is, seasonal allergies. But also like how you can handle those holidays with maybe some uncomfy situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. She's got the tools.
So we're looking forward to it. How are you doing today this morning, Hannah?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Anything happening in the downtown this weekend?
Well, tonight there are carriage rides in downtown.
That's right.
So if you want to take your family out, hop around, we'll take a little spinner on the block. I will be there to help you get on the carriages.
Oh, thank you.
And off safely.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think Santa House is still open
That's correct.
at the Main Street Delaware Welcome Center. So there's still lots of holiday happenings in the downtown.
yeah.
Absolutely. And most of it's free. I think carriage rides are like $2,
Yeah.
for everyone 6 and over. So,
Cash and Venmo.
yeah, we make it easy.
Do we have to tip you if I come out tonight? If you help us in the carriage?
Oh, unfortunately, I cannot accept
You
tips.
can't. Okay,
She'll
good.
give it back to Main Street,
I would give it back
yeah.
to Main Street. That's directly where it would go.
Yeah, I went on that carriage ride last year. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe we'll. I don't know. What's our temperatures looking like today?
Horrible.
Cold.
Not great.
It'll feel like
about 25 at 6 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and it'll feel like it's about 19 or 18 probably with the wind chill.
Ooh, yuck. So bundle up.
But
Perfect,
the horses
though.
are very
Perfect,
sweet. I think their names
Yeah.
are Jake and Henry, if I
Oh my
remember
gosh.
correctly.
Of course, you know the horses' names.
Why would I not know the horses' names?
It is true. You should know who is
That's
pulling your
great.
carriage.
What are their names?
Jake is definitely one. I think the other one is Henry.
I love it.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Can we call him Hank?
That's what I say. I think I called him Hank last year. And
What
so
up,
that's
Hank?
what
Yeah.
it was.
Well, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good day. And we're always going to do what we do, which is talk about books.
Books.
Yay. What do you have in front of you, Hannah?
I brought a physical book this time to remind myself.
Yes.
I just finished yesterday the audiobook version, although I do have the advanced reader copy from 2016. It's by Nathaniel Philbrick. He is a historian based out of Massachusetts. This is called Valiant Ambition. And the subtitle, which no one needs to write down because it's long, is George Washington, Benedict Arnold, and the Fate of the American Revolution.
Ooh.
So I have always loved the American Revolution as a historical topic. And then the Ken Burns documentary wrapped up, and I had this on my bookshelf, and I was like, I'm going to dive into it. And what it follows is just during the war years, the stories and kind of arcs of George Washington and Benedict Arnold, and it really is more about Benedict Arnold and the myth that we have of him in current day as a traitor. While all true, how did he get to that point? Why did he do those things? And what it really is a study in personality. It contrasts and conflicts Washington's personality versus Arnold's, and both of these men had a temper. And both of them could be very hot-headed, and it's about control and pride. Do you have control over your emotions? Do you let pride get the better of you? And George Washington almost never did. There are like 3 to 4 noted outbursts in the Revolutionary War where he just let his tongue fly, let the language go. But he always was so well composed. Like, we think of him as the ultimate statesman for a reason because he was. Whereas Benedict Arnold was passed over time and time again for promotion, partly due to the disorganization of the Continental Congress, but also because he was uncouth. He was angry all the time. He was very prideful, and he just was hard to work with. Like, multiple letters throughout the war say, like, oh, he's a good general. Man, I hate being around the guy.
We
He's
don't
just
like this
kind
dude.
of a jerk. And it's about self-awareness. And so
that's
it's
funny.
a very, so it's a really great book if you are interested in the American Revolution, if you really love the Ken Burns documentary, but also if you are interested in leadership and leadership skills.
Oh, yeah.
This would be a great book to read because it is two different leadership styles and kind of what those lead to.
Yeah.
And so it was very interesting.
That's kind of neat. It's like leadership without going to the business section.
Exactly.
You know, because sometimes you say, oh, I want a book on leadership, and then you get like, who moved my cheese? And it's like, no, that's not what we're going for here.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it was so if you can kind of skim over some of like the battle, like the left flank moved 4 miles up the, like you can kind of skim those parts and get to the nitty gritty of who these men were. And it was fascinating. It was a great read. It was a listen. It was read by Scott Brick, who is also read, he reads all the Chernow books as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so
he knows how to get into a meaty historical.
Yeah. I love Scott Brick's voice and it's very good. And you know, Peggy Shippen is Benedict Arnold's wife, and she plays a big role in the last third, and so that's very interesting about how women were perceived and what she used her. She famously when had hysterical fits, and she uses them to help Benedict Arnold get away.
Oh,
So I mean, there was a drunk history episode about it.
well, of course.
But it really gets into who she was, and it was fascinating. I'm a big American Revolution nerd, but
Yeah,
Great
Revolution nerd. I like that. I will think of the title here in a second while Shannon's talking, but it reminds me of something that I just recently watched on Netflix that I was very into.
was it Turn?
No, it was not Turn. It was something different. But yeah, so Shannon, what's something that you've read recently that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I am a big fan of the fantasy genre.
Oh, yes.
And I
Nice.
actually really like young adult fiction.
Yeah.
Of
So
course,
I-
and that's great for your job too. You can connect with your people.
Yes. So I actually just finished reading the Fourth Wing trilogy.
Oh, nice.
So just a couple weeks ago, I finished reading the third one, which was Onyx Storm, and I really, really love that series.
Good. What do you
like,
love about it?
I like the. My sense of humor. I'm a pretty sarcastic person, and so I really love the dialogue in those
nice.
books. Like, just there's
Little
a lot
witty
of
and-
banter.
yeah.
Just the humor. I really enjoy good dialogue in books, so I appreciate that. And I, as kind of a fantasy lover, I always look at like the world building and the character development. And I just feel like one of my favorite authors when I was younger was Anne McCaffrey, and she had a series called The Dragon Riders of Pern.
Yes.
And so there's. It reminded me of that a little bit in the sense of just the dragons and the relationship with dragons and riders and things.
I love that.
But
I love dragons. I mean, honestly, like I am so fascinated by them, and I think that history and writers and everything has interpreted them so differently. I'm like, I don't know. I think there's something there, right? Dinosaurs, modern day,
yeah.
Are you saying you think that dragons are real?
for sure.
Okay.
Why can't they be? Yeah,
Yeah. Why not?
yeah.
yeah, they could have just been extinct before,
Well, that's excellent. Those Fourth Wing books are thick. Those are doorstops.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
they
nice
are.
because it's like you get to live in the world longer, and if you really love it, it's like an extended treat.
Yes. And it's an amazing coping skill because you're like getting lost and sucked into this story in this imaginary world, and you get to escape your world for a little while.
Oh, I love that. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I do. I love a little escapism. We just had a really, Hannah and I are in a networking group with other people who do what we do, communications in the county, and we just had a little holiday gathering social last night, and we talked a lot about books, and we were like, oh, I love a little escapism, a little magical realism. One of my favorite genres is like things that are unexplained, but they just are, and so you just live with it, and it's one of the things that's my favorite about reading, something new and learning.
Yeah.
So I found the title that I was thinking about, and it's called the Netflix series that is new that just came out is called Death by Lightning.
Oh,
And
yeah. So good.
It's about James Garfield.
It's 4
and
episodes. It's a nice, tight plot line.
It's a great miniseries, yes. And
good.
And it is about James Garfield's rise to the presidency, but it is also about the man who ultimately killed him.
There's actually a quote from that man in real life. And
Tell me.
I did not kill the president. I merely shot him. The doctors killed him.
He's not wrong.
That's actually literally what happened.
But his intent was to kill him. So I mean, he did succeed. Yeah,
that's a great series.
Yes. It was phenomenal.
Nick Offerman as Chester Arthur is an incredible turn. I've never wanted to know about Chester Arthur.
Yes,
but now I'm looking for a biography.
Well, and I can tell you, if you want to dig more into this, is not Chester Arthur's biography, but the Death by Lightning series is based on Candice Millard's 2011 nonfiction book, Destiny of the Republic, A Tale of Madness, Medicine, and Murder of a President. And so this series really goes into the very short-lived term of James Garfield. He was an Ohioan, and he
mentor.
And he had a farm, and he's getting ready to go to the Republican National Convention to go and pick the president, and he is all in on another gentleman from Ohio,
Sherman.
That's right.
William Tecumseh Sherman's brother.
You. See, this is why we're good together, because I don't remember the details, but you do. So he's all in, getting ready to go all in on this other Ohioan. He goes up to make his pitch and his speech and to cast his nominating vote initially to get everyone excited about Sherman. And he does such a good job that, he's like, and that man is, and as he's getting ready to say Sherman's name, somebody from the convention is like, James Garfield. And he's like, no, that wasn't my intent. And then after they are at a stalemate, a gridlock, and just the votes are not coming through to pick the one nominee, eventually we find out that it's going to be Garfield. And the funny thing is the man who then ends up shooting him, he has just like this interesting rise.
He's a very ill man as well.
He's what we did not know then that we do know now is he was very mentally ill. He was just trying all of these things. He was very unstable, and why he became so obsessed with Garfield, and why he first he's all in on him, then he's really not. Wives play a fun role. It's just really great. So I would recommend, if you have Netflix, watching the Death by Lightning series. It is really wonderful, but I also recommend, if you love reading a good book and digging into all of those details, Candice Millard's Destiny of the Republic, A Tale of Madness, Medicine, and the Murder of a President. So those are all, we're getting a little revolutionary today, a little American history, which will be perfect as we go into our 250th birthday for next year.
Yeah.
Exactly. With that, we will take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side with Shannon Miller talking about how to get yourself mentally prepared for the holidays and the winter season. So stay tuned.
A lovely morning to use the drive-through book drop, I would say. Not at the Delaware branch, but every place else.
Oh, man.
But, if you have thoughts about
shade.
that, we have a survey out that you could take and tell us what you think about buildings and drive-through and that sort of thing.
That is
Really?
the perfect
I am
segue.
a huge fan of the Orange Branch drive-through. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I use it all the time.
Good.
Yeah, amen. So I should take the survey, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
DelawareLibrary.org. It's right there on our homepage. You'll see it under our news block. It says, take our survey.
Yes, please.
And it has pretty pictures of our buildings. But yeah, we are in the middle of a facilities master plan process. And step one of that process is hearing feedback from our wonderful community members. And you can also find fun little things on our social media. Hannah's put things up like, hey, what branch is this? And then also, once you figure out what branch that is, you can take our survey from the links there. And yeah, we've already got about over 1,000 responses. We would love to just have that number keep cranking up. It is open until next Friday, December 19th. So please take our survey. Let's see if we can get it to 2,000.
That would be great.
I believe in you. Also, another fun fact. Thanks for reminding me of our fun facts this morning. We are nearing 2 million circulations for the year for our library system. So what a circulation means is anything that you check out. So digital books on Libby or Hoopla, digital viewing on Canopy, and any material that you physically take out of our library. So a book, a game, a magazine.
And the limit for books is 200, so go ahead. Just take 200 off the
Right,
shelf, check
yeah.
it out. It'll be great.
At once? Could you do that at once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
200 books all at
Wow.
once.
Wow.
I challenge you.
Dare you. There are definitely some teachers who
Yeah.
butt right up against that because they bring in for their classroom. It's wonderful.
They do a great job. But yeah, this is a milestone that the library has not hit since 2019. We definitely saw people like doing other things once the pandemic hit, and so we're on the upswing again. People are coming into our buildings, people are checking out materials, and so yeah, get us to 2 million by the end of this year. I think we can do it.
Nice.
I'll get one tomorrow. I'll
Okay.
do what I can.
Thank you. Or 20.
Valiant Ambition,
1
right?
or 20, yeah.
I currently have a library book on the coffee table in my living room.
Love
yeah,
it.
Yeah. I have ones that are overdue, so they need to come back, and then I'll get new ones. But I think those count, you know. Well, we are talking with Shannon Miller this morning, and Shannon is the Delaware City Schools coordinator for Syntero and their school-based clinician program. She's at Delaware Hayes High School. Did I get all that right, Shannon?
Yes, you did.
And we're talking about winter blues busting. It's a program that's going to happen at the library, but also it's kind of life skills in general that help you and your littles get through the winter. So I know how I feel in the winter, and I know how I feel at the holidays, but how does that translate to kids?
Kids, it's hard because, science shows that our brain is still developing until we're 26. So kids, teens, especially the littles,
Right.
they don't have the language to express what they're feeling the way we do.
Right.
And they don't have the emotion control that hopefully we do. So, they're feeling all the big things and they don't have the words to try and explain what they're feeling to their adults. And then they also don't have the skills to control what they're feeling. And so then you've got meltdowns and temper tantrums and fights with their siblings and talking back and all the things.
Yeah.
And so a lot of adults, I don't think, fully appreciate the limitation. We forget as an adult what it's like to be that age and those limitations of those verbal skills and just that self-awareness.
Yes.
And so not having a lot of patience and just assuming they're being disrespectful and they're talking back when there's probably a lot more happening underneath. And that's not how they're meaning to be. They just don't know how to better express themselves. So our winter wellness workshops are about giving kids the tools, but also the validation of your feelings are legitimate. Your feelings are real. It's okay to feel things. But it's how can I better express what I'm feeling to get what I need.
Where were you when Benedict Arnold was doing his thing?
Right? I'm going to pick that up because one, I'm a history nerd, but two, as a psychology major and a counselor, that whole thing sounds really fascinating to me. That's right. It's my jam.
Yeah,
So,
sorry to interrupt you.
No. Maybe some winter break reading for me. But,
Right.
But yeah, so one, giving kids the tools to be able to understand what they're feeling, recognize it's okay to feel things, but how do I put words to that? And how can I better control that and try and tell my adults what I'm feeling? But then our parents are welcome to sit in on these sessions. So hopefully they're also learning more about how their kids work and function so they can have more patience and also coach them and ask better questions to help their kids better express what they're feeling in a healthy way.
Yeah, it definitely is something that is a two-way street, right? Kids can learn the skills as well, but parents, it's a little bit on you and other grown-ups to kind of recognize, they're not just being disrespectful. They're nervous, they're anxious, they're scared, they're excited,
And be the adult in the situation and be
hard.
the bigger person and try and be curious and investigate rather than, just resorting to, coming down.
Yeah.
Because
Put the hammer away, and the foot. The hammer doesn't need to come down, and the foot doesn't need to come down.
Yeah. There's usually an underlying reason why a kid is doing what they're doing.
Right.
And it's more about figuring that out versus why are they so angry right now? Well,
There's a lot of stimulation this time of year too.
Yeah,
that's got to be a part of it.
Kids thrive on routine.
Yep.
And so they, their school day is very regimented. And then you take them out of school and put them at home. There's no schedule. There's no routine. There's no regimen. So their whole little world is thrown out of whack. And then you throw in maybe some uncomfortable family dynamics that just add to stress. And then you kind of mentioned the winter blues, seasonal affective disorder. It's a real thing. And so, there's not much daylight. Even in winter, when it's not raining or snowing in Ohio, it's cloudy and overcast.
Still gray.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
And so, helping kids being able to sort that out when they don't have the skills to do that for themselves is important for parents.
This program is that's happening at the library is Winter Blues Busting for Kids with school-based clinicians from Syntero. It'll take place at the Liberty Branch Library on Tuesday, December 30th at 2 p.m. Great for grades 1 through 5. Like Shannon said, parents can come and sit in. We would love for you to register just so we know how many people can come. And how many people we can anticipate. You can do that at DelawareLibrary.org. Just bop right over to the calendar and look at Tuesday, December 30th and register for that. But what would be, if somebody can't make it to the program, what would be some a tip that you would offer? Let's say that my 11-year-old, happy birthday today, Win, is excited about her birthday, but that excitement is coming through as like almost aggressive energy. What would be something that you would, or excited about Christmas or something like that? What would be a good tip for that?
Yeah. So if you feel like it's like kind of over the top, like amped up, more on that aggressive side, you're going to want to guide them through things that are more calming, more regulating. So thinking about like deep breathing. Deep breathing regulates your cardiac system. It regulates your respiratory system with your lungs. The lungs pushing oxygen is what feeds that oxygen to your brain to help you problem solve and think clearly and not
get
just
some
have
executive
that
functioning back.
So like it's a very simple activity, but it does a lot of good for calming and regulating your physical body and your brain. We like to use the analogy with our kiddos of like hot cocoa breathing.
Okay.
So like if you are, sniffing with your nose first, that yummy chocolate hot cocoa smell, about 4 seconds, just that deep.
Yeah.
And then hold a second, and then you want to blow the hot cocoa off before you take that sip
hot.
so you don't burn your tongue. So
I
maybe
love
like 5 to
that.
6 seconds of just that breathing out with your mouth.
Oh, that is amazing.
And
We
then
got a
you
little
wanna
ASMR this
do
morning.
that repetitively until they feel their heart rate slowing and feeling a little calmer. If they just do it once or twice, it's not long enough.
Right.
And that's something a parent can talk them through and do with them and model. Which that social learning will be better for them. So that's a great activity. Physical activity is a great way to burn off that extra adrenaline and cortisol that's pumping through with that excitement. So whether that's going out for a walk as a family, or shooting some hoops in the backyard.
Right.
Or
Cartwheels
just,
in the living room is in my house right now.
running up and down the stairs, running in place, like just any kind of physical movement or activity, turning on Dance Dance Revolution, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know if people still play that. But.
What is the new one? Yes,
I can picture it.
I should
Just
know this.
Dance.
Just Dance.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
but
that's
I mean,
the
it's
one.
a fun activity to do with your kids to build that connection, but it's also burning off all that extra adrenaline. So it's kind of a 2-for-1.
Right.
So those are some great kind of
great.
regulation.
The hot cocoa breathing, and it's such a big kid way to think about it because you don't feel like you're babying them. Because a 5th grader, I have a 5th grader and a 2nd grader. If I told my 5th grader like let's pretend that we're blowing on hot cocoa, she'd be into it. But if I told her like, hey, let's do the silly dance, she'd be like, Mom, I'm 11. Excuse me. Yeah, I love that. Those are great recommendations. I think, being aware. I always think about it as, like as an adult, your job is to kind of see where you can catch those little like snippets of underlying rationale and reason, even though, like you said, your littles aren't going to come right out and tell you exactly what it is that they need. They're not going to say, hi, I'm hungry, so I'm going to yell at you for the next 5 hours.
Because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know that's what, they know they're, you know what I mean.
When they're overtired,
Yes.
when they're hungry. Like, there's a reason we call it hangry, right?
Yes.
Though, I mean, that's a real thing. And I think something important with kids and teens, depression often presents as anger, not sadness.
Oh, sure.
And so that's something to keep in mind if they seem extra irritable and out of sorts. That there could be more some underlying like sadness or blues or depression happening.
And I bet an anger comes from maybe a source of like a lack of control, like feeling, everything feels out of control.
And a defense mechanism. You know, those more vulnerable feelings of feeling rejected, feeling hurt, feeling alone, feeling worthless. You know, you want to protect yourself because that makes you vulnerable. And so that anger is I call it a mask emotion.
Yeah.
There's a concept called the anger iceberg where, you know, the tip above the water is the anger and the irritability but then underneath is all this, you know, abandonment and rejection. And so it's like a mask to protect you.
I have heard of this iceberg. It is worth listeners looking up. Just do a Google image search. The anger iceberg. There's an anxiety iceberg. There's the icebergs. It is an amazing visual for it's not just the tip. It's everything else that's underneath.
Which is actually the bigger part.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Do a Google search on that, listeners. I swear you will be happy about it. Well, thank you, Shannon. You provided so many wonderful tips this morning. I think this will be great for folks to hang on to, continue to listen to this podcast and remind themselves that, you know, it's all going to be okay. Let's just center ourselves a little bit and take care of ourselves this season. Yeah. So join the friends at Syntero at the Liberty Branch Library on December 30th from 2 to 3. It'll be over your winter break. So take a little time out of your afternoon and come and see our friends at Syntero over your winter break. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good
Love
one.
to see you.
Yeah. Other than that, we've got fun things happening at the library this week. You definitely want to check out our online programming calendar. There are still some spaces available we've got a gingerbread program at the library.
For tweens.
It's on a Sunday afternoon, which is cool.
So cozy.
Yeah, and a new thing for us because we've got our new Sunday hours. So check out all the things that are happening online, DelawareLibrary.org, or download our app. It will be worth your free Google or Apple Store experience. Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome. Thanks
Thank you,
for having me.
Hannah. And thank
Always
you
a
for taking the
joy.
helm next week, too.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yep. Mark, I'll miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss you too. Say hi to Minnie.
I will. I
Cool.
will. I'll give her a big hug. I'm so excited. All right. Until next week, everyone, we'll see you in the stacks.